Do you know what it feels like to have fun sober? When was the last time you had fun sober? When was the last time? No drink, nothing, just you. Do you remember? I would fall in the class of someone who doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't vape, no substances of any kind. Now, although I've had alcoholic beverages, it's not a go to activity for me, at least not to the point of total intoxication. It's not something that I choose to do. The majority of my fun comes with sobriety. It's interesting because back in 2006, while I was working at Power 106, a guy by the name of DJ Prophet, Chris Figueroa, shout out to you, he said to me, "You don't need drugs, man. You're already crazy." So, yeah, when was the last time? Do you remember? Was it when you were a kid? Was it when you were in middle school? Or maybe it was in your early 20s? We're at a time right now where substance abuse is at an all time high. It's really up there, especially opioids. It's up there. People are not dealing with life head on. They can't deal with life head on. And so they put their mind on something just to get through the day. How often do you do this? Your life is in knots. You're struggling to deal with it. And instead of dealing with it head on, you put something in you to get you through the day. Now, this doesn't just apply to drugs. I mean, you could say drugs are found everywhere, even in the food we eat. Okay. The caffeine, how many people go to Starbucks to get that caffeine? There's always something. There's always something that people are doing, eating, ingesting, smoking, snorting, whatever it is, just to get through life. And the use of these substances or the reliance on these things probably increased in 2020. Is there anyone out there that knows how to deal with life straight, head on? You have a challenge in your life and you just get through it. You have all the chemicals in here, these natural chemicals that are embedded in your brain that were given to you at birth. And these chemicals here allow for you to deal with certain things. Now, most of you don't even realize how powerful the chemicals in here are because you've been convinced that all the chemicals in here that are natural to you are of no use to you and do not have enough potency to allow for you to deal with life as a whole. You don't even believe in this. You don't believe in this. So what do? You go to the substance. Now, I'm not talking about the people who need a glass of wine with their dinner because wine, there's benefits to it for the blood and that sort of thing. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the daily use of a substance in order to get through life, whether you're smoking it, vaping it, whatever the case may be. People do not know how powerful they are, so they rely on substances. They don't know their power. Do you? Do you remember? Because it's not that people, I'll just say they've forgotten what their abilities are. They've forgotten that we were built to deal with life just as we are. We were built to deal with this place, this experience here on earth in these bodies. These bodies were designed with perfection to be able to deal with life, regardless of what it is. Now, we're not living in the time where we had to go hunt for food and deal with the beasts on the earth, many in which are more powerful than a man or woman, definitely a child. We're not living in that time where we had to really monitor our environment, build it up, and all those kinds of things. We've got it easy right now. I would say the time of living off the land, dealing with beasts in order to get food was 10 times tougher than problems with our phones, problems with trivial stuff that we're dealing with today. I would say living off the land was tougher, and we dealt with it. It's interesting. Why? Because we were designed to. So, again, when was the last time you went through life sober? And why not? When I think of even alcohol, I don't see anything productive from it. You have the stories, I've had the stories. A lot of families out there have been torn because of it. I don't see anything productive from it. The constant consumption, I mean. I'm not talking about the glass of wine, the constant consumption. Is there anything positive from it? Anything? When you think about the hashtag incident from 2017, women being taken advantage of or being in those situations, men being in those situations. What's at the core of a lot of those incidents? Wouldn't you say it's alcohol? Exactly. We have the ability to do amazing things. I think back to the moments back in radio. I mention this a lot, I know, because great memories. A lot of great moments there. I was usually the designated driver, and I was okay with that. The one who will drive and, hey, you guys want to get wasted? All right, here, I'll watch you back. But from that experience, seeing people lose themselves, trip over their own feet, vomit all over the place, do some stupidity, okay? Alcohol enhances your inner demons, brings everything to the surface. Nothing positive from that. The drunk conversations that would happen, the drunk text messages that I would get late in the wee hours of the night, nothing positive from that. And this is just alcohol. I'm not even talking about opioids. I'm not even going to go down that road because that's a real deal right now. So, in a time where we need to have our thoughts clear, in a time where our livelihood is being challenged, in a time where your beliefs are being challenged, why would you want to be on the influence of something else? You need a clear head. It's more needed for you to have a clear head now than at any point in human history. We're going through a shift. So wouldn't you want to be at your clearest focus? You wouldn't want to be influenced by anything other than your vision, your intuition, the natural chemicals here, firing off, and then you make decisions. You move. Now, of course, having a toast to some special occasion, you know, those moments where you celebrate, that's different. That's an entirely different category. I'm talking about the abuse. There's no balance. I mention this a lot in these episodes. The balance. You can't tip more one way than the other. You got to be neutral. When was the last time you had fun without doing anything to your body in terms of substance? Alcohol, drugs, smoking, whatever. When was the last time? Do you even know how to do that? There's some people that are so used to drinking something, snorting something, injecting something, whatever, they don't even know what it feels like to be themselves. They have totally forgotten what that feels like. And probably the only time that they even remember is when they look at their children. Because guess what? Kids know how to do it. We got to return to the mindset of a child in terms of that. Kids know how to have fun. They don't need to drink anything. They know how to have fun. They live in the moment. They enjoy, right? They don't judge. They just play. Everything just works, including their imagination. So then we were all kids once. We did this. Yeah, you did it. You were 6 years old. You had an imagination. You were 5, you were 7, 8. Maybe for some of you, you didn't go through the most enjoyable childhood. Okay, we can account for that. But you were still a kid and you still had the ability to stretch your imagination as far as it could go. It was open. So then technically we're all big kids. You've got responsibilities, you're working, paying bills and all that stuff, but technically we're for the most part, we are that little kid. We're a grown-up version of that. So having fun sober anyway, I don't know. Not trying to impose my views on anyone. It's just a question. Is it possible for you to have fun without a drink or a smoke or any type of substance that would be detrimental to your health? And if not, why not? Do you want to know who you are?